The RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League is on the air. RobertsTechJobs.com, your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals, proudly brings to you IR05 race number 11 live from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. This broadcast also being brought to you by TDA Motorsports. TDA Motorsports, proudly sponsored by the Disabled American Veterans Association. DAV, an all-volunteer fleet of non-critical medical transport for America's veterans. On more information on how you can get involved, go to dav.org. This broadcast also being brought to you by David Llewellyn and the DHL Express, Robert Lacavara and Convergent Composites, Mr. Hoot Baker, with promotional consideration paid for by Motorsports Graphic Designs. For all your in-sim graphical needs, you got something going through your mind, you want to see it on your race car, Motorsports Graphic Designs. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you here for race number 11 of Season 3 of the IR05s in the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. Going to be joined momentarily by my broadcast partner, Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett.
I'm here.
There he is. So, Sam, are you looking forward to Atlanta as much as I am?
Oh, very much so. It's one of the more unpredictable tracks of the calendar, so to speak. I mean, it's a cookie cutter like the rest of the ones we've been to, but this one likes to throw up a lot of controversy, a lot of close racing, and yeah, I'm looking forward to all 168 laps of it tonight.
Well, I dare say that as far as wild card races go, Atlanta is going to be the wildest of the wild cards.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean,
and we've only got 2 races left until the chase starts.
Yeah, it's getting very close to the nitty gritty now. I mean, 2 races to go before the chase. I mean, we've already got one favourite for this race going into the chase. He's already got a win this season. That's Chris Parkman. I mean, they've all got to watch for him tonight because he's a specialist on these kind of tracks. He
is a specialist on this kind of track, but there's a couple names you gotta watch out for as well. As everybody remembers last season when we came to Atlanta, Parkman was edged out for the win here, so that's probably got to stick in his craw a little bit by less than a width of a foot. Hold up your foot, and if you notice the distance from your big toe to your little toe, that's how much Jay Anderson won by last time we were here at Atlanta. The caution came out, and Jay was trying to get the high side to start working, and he just ever so slightly got around Parkman, and that's got to sting, when you lose one that close. So something to keep an eye on tonight. Parkman currently sitting 7th quick. The rookie, Mike the Iceman Erder, currently sitting top of the leaderboard, 25.096. Now, I've been told by a couple guys that they're trying to get that high side to work, because right now there's not a lot of rubber up there, but the cars are wanting to push pretty profusely going into the corners. And, something we've seen time and time again here at Hot Atlanta is this track is notorious for punishing you should you choose to overdrive the corners.
I mean, it's the I believe it's the identical twin of Las Vegas. Am I correct?
Not really.
Or Texas, one of the two.
No, not really there either. It's kind of a beast of its own.
Yeah.
Atlanta is. It's Atlanta, and there's not really much you can really do about it other than just say, hey, it's Atlanta, and move on from there. So,
just noticed our very own league owner is up in 2nd place right now in the standings, so he's having a good run tonight.
I noticed that as well, so something to keep an eye on tonight. Alex Green running up there. Pretty high up in the standings. So, looks like Hot Lap's getting ready to wind on down here.
It looks like we got 24 cars scheduled to take the green tonight, so that's a pretty decent field tonight for this
Yeah.
track as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's going to be something to really keep an eye on. As we move through the field here, and let me just see what we've got here for standings. There we go. I'm going to pull those up. As still in practice right now, running a little bit behind schedule. They changed the start time of this event.
I think it was like 5 or 6 minutes late.
Yeah, the event itself was 5 or 6 minutes late starting. A couple things to keep an eye on. It's relatively cool here for Atlanta. 65-degree ambient air temperature, 73 degrees track temperature, which anybody that's ever seen any Atlanta race ever realizes just how unheard of that normally is. There's a reason why they call it Hotlanta. So,
yeah, I mean, obviously it's aptly named Hotlanta for a reason. I mean, to have temperatures like this on a track like this is very unusual, and I don't know, it'll make for some interesting racing. I'm looking forward to see what happens.
If the last time we were here is any indication, we are in for some serious battles. Now, the one thing that these drivers are going to have to watch out for is towards the exit of pit road. If you're on the inside line, there is a wicked bump right next to the exit of the pit. So definitely something to keep an eye out for. You're going to see cars probably catching some air as they work their way through traffic.
Yeah, I mean, I've hit that bump in NIS before in a stock car, and it even throws the stock car up into the wall. So with these Indy cars being a lot lighter than a stock car, imagine what it could do to them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not to mention that you're going, just so much faster. And right there where those cars just passed is roughly where we're looking. As we're following Johnny Antonucci with the blimp cam right now. And I believe that is... where the hell is he? Oh, KP's going to be pissed.
Why?
You can get somebody stole his number tonight.
Oh, no.
Our good friend Kevin Paskowicz, normally driving the PH Aware number 7, is in the PH Aware number 12 tonight because Fearless Leader's spotter decided to join the session as a driver, not a spotter.
Well, at least it's his teammates number. At least it's his teammates number, so it's not all is lost.
Well, I've actually offered up because I've noticed that KP's been running a lot of Truck Series events as of late, and he's been having some decent success running my number.
Yeah.
And I've offered that to him, and I still have yet to hear a reply that doesn't include expletives.
I'm thinking I might start taking the number 13, I just ran an IndyCar race at Indianapolis, incidentally, and I had the number 13 and I finished second. So I'm thinking I might take that number because it's giving me some good luck right now.
Well, if you go to number 26, that means you'll finish first.
Hopefully.
Just saying,
I know.
But
Tyler Vickery just annihilated the wall. Tyler Vickery is the one that's struggling tonight.
There's a few that are struggling. If you take a look at the top 10 are separated by less than a tenth of a second, and then you move down to the also-rans, and there's one name that is sticking out to me that I'm not sure how he's even in the race because I believe the competition committee said that he was going to be moved down. Wow, that looked healthy. But there's some also rans, and I mean you're talking from 1st to 23rd right now is almost it's just over 0.4 of a second. and there's a group of there's clusters. There's two different clusters. There's the top 10, and then there's the bottom 10. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna actually say it's the top 11, and then the bottom 10.
I'm thinking once we go green, and if we get a nice long green flag run, we could see split into two separate packs due to what you just said, like, you know.
Well, this track is going to definitely be spread out quite profusely, as looks like hot laps are over. We're going to leave the standings up there so you folks can follow along with us in the qualifying as that gets ready to get underway.
Now, I don't know if you noticed, but Gary Bauer actually nicked the #1 spot in the hot laps just before they finished.
I did see that, and that without a doubt was draft aided, because I believe that was into the 24s.
Yeah, it was drafted with Mark Carpenter, so that's a pretty good run for him. I mean, it's got his teammate there in second place as well. So yeah, Booze Brothers actually doing some bits tonight.
Absolutely. So that's definitely something to really keep an eye on. You know, and that team's been struggling for the most part. You know, they've run up front for the vast majority of the race, and they've kind of been the bad luck kids as of late. And I say kids jokingly because if anybody knows that team, I believe the youngest driver is in his mid-40s.
Yeah.
So
I mean, speaking of struggling teams, Three Must Get Beers are out on the search for a new driver after Dominic Burns' shock retirement the other week.
I was just about to mention that myself. Yes, Dominic Byrne, the Irish assassin, has announced that due to personal things going on in real life, he's not going to be able to finish out this season. We're looking forward to having Dom back as soon as he can possibly get that cleared up. But qualifying currently underway, and Quentin Young going to the top of the leaderboard. Mike Erder currently sitting second. Tony Rice, the rookie, currently sitting third. Good job, Tony. Definitely getting a handle on this track real quick. You know, that young gunner is going to be somebody to watch out for coming up here. You know, Tony's only ran, I believe, a handful of races with us this season, but definitely making a good impression, much like Ronnie Osmer did last season. So it's going to be interesting to see how the two youngsters play nice together if they can.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Tony Rice. I mean, since he got that top 5 at Milwaukee, he's really stepped up his game, and his racecraft has become so much better lately. And I'm looking for him to do big things in the future. He's a star of the future. I can see that coming.
Well, you kind of got to figure that if anybody came out of Milwaukee with a decent finish, that had to have just, you know, made their confidence grow to the point where they can pretty much do anything, because Milwaukee by far has to be one of the most, if not the most difficult track this league has ever gone to. As we're watching the qualifying times continue to roll in, Chris the Punisher Parkman ripping off a 25.31. Good grief, Chris. Leave some on the table for the rest of us.
And that's going back to what I was saying earlier. Chris Parkman is definitely the favourite for this race tonight. I mean, that lap time alone just shows how fast he can be on these 1.5 mile tracks. He's a very difficult person to beat, and he's our most winningest driver in the league anyway, so that kind of adds into it as well.
Well, the other thing you need to remember, too, is this league does have a rule that the pole sitter gets to choose which lane they want to start in. It would not surprise me if Parkman actually chose the outside line to start this race, because when you figure where all the rubber's been laid down, there's nothing on the inside.
Yeah. Robert Hill Jr. getting up into the top 5, that's a pretty good result for him, for Evolution Racing.
And big shocker, did y'all happen to see who's sitting outside row number 1?
Gary Front Row Bauer.
Shocking.
How am I not surprised?
So just about 50 seconds left before we're going to turn it loose to league owner Alex Green for the pre-race drivers meeting. Currently got the winningest driver in league history, Chris Parkman. The driver who has started on the front row more than any other driver in the league, Gary Bauer. That's your front row right now. Defending DW12 Series champion Mike Whitaker, along with one of the drivers who has made every chase that this league has had in both main series, David Llewellyn. That's row number 2. Robert Hill Jr. currently sitting 5th quick. Defending IR05 Series champion Tyler Graff currently sitting 6th quick. So something to keep an eye on there as we are getting ready to throw it down live.
Doesn't allow them to have a race control. So typical non-race control rules apply. Just make sure you claim your cautions, and we'll try to address everything we can post-race. Let's call our pit entry by turn 2, and let's pit off of the backstretch here going into 4. Just the easiest way to do it. Make sure everybody's especially careful on pit road, because this, I think, is the hardest pit road we've had all season. I'll have points update. 4 races remain. I'll have points updates done, and I'll have a ruling on the DW12 race hopefully sometime this week. Good luck. I'm glad to have you guys back together. Let's finish the season up strong. And I will be investing in paid race control next year, which is something I was hoping I wouldn't have to do, but it's become obvious that's the only way I'm going to establish it.
You do mean going into turn 3, right?
I believe there's no race control tonight, Tony, so that's going to make things interesting.
No, he means coming off at turn 2, call your pits.
No, pit in 3, he said 4. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here.
Oh, yeah, right.
All right, so some drivers looking for some clarification. I believe that's what Alex did mean, but we're just about 3 minutes away from green flag here, so if you got to use a little driver's room, I would suggest doing so now, as if the previous races were any indication, we're looking for some good runs coming up here, as long as nobody steps on the crank coming to the green. Cold tires here are definitely not your friend.
Yeah, I mean, if the last IR05 race is anything to go by, then restarts should be interesting tonight. Hopefully there'll be a bit of an improvement, but last week at the back there was a few checkups and people wrecking out on the restarts, but hopefully things should be fine this week. Some good racing. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to some good racing too. And speaking of some good racing, we're being joined in the booth by league sponsor Mr. Bill Roberts right now, who has some interesting things to talk about. Bill, you've got a special event that you got planned, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I'd made a decision to sponsor a team for the official iRacing Rolex 24 Hours of Daytona, and I thought probably the best way to select that team would be to have some guys from the ISL form up teams with a minimum of 2 ISL drivers. You could bring in 2 ringers if you want. So 2, 3, 4 man teams, whatever size you guys want. And have a race on Saturday starting at 12 noon. We'll have a practice at 10. And race for 6 hours and see what team wins. And whatever team wins, we'll get my sponsorship for the official iRacing 24 Hours of Daytona, which will come up in late January.
Well then, that's some big news, and I believe if I read your post correctly, there's going to be a payday to that team and to the charity of that team's choice, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, a pretty big payday too. So could be quite a good thing for a charity. So come on out and join us. I need the teams to be registered by midnight on Friday, and then we'll see what happens. There won't be any race control, and we're not racing under any ISL rules. This is not an ISL sanctioned event.
And there also won't be any broadcast because I'm working my real life job until
we'll
6
see what
p.m.
happens.
Eastern time.
Yeah, that's right. So, but it should be fun, and we'll see what happens.
Well, Bill, on behalf of the entire IndyCar Speedway League, we cannot thank you enough for all the generosity that you've given to this league over the past few seasons. We're definitely looking forward to working together with you in the future, and best of luck to you tonight.
All right, great. And drivers, if you haven't registered, please contact me through Facebook and let me know that you guys are interested in and who's on your team. Thanks, Tony. Talk to you later.
Good luck, Bill. All right, so big news coming out of the RobertsTechJobs.com offices they are going to be sponsoring a team for the Rolex 24 at Daytona race coming up this coming Saturday to determine which team is going to get the sponsorship there. So something to be mindful of.
And I've been hearing down the grapevine that Phenomenal and Evolution are joining forces for this race, and they're going to be throwing 3 cars at that race this weekend. So that's going to be...
I know they're throwing at least 2. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be one of them because I cannot get out of my real-life job coming up here.
Yeah, but... if you can't make it, then we'll try and find somebody. But in the meantime, shall I go down through the grid if you want me to? Or
you could do so. That would be awesome. Let me pull some up for you. I'll do the first half. You do the second half. So starting up on the pole is going to be Chris the Punisher Parkman. He's going to be joined on outside row number 1 with Gary front row Bauer. Defending DW12 Series champion Mike Whitaker is going to be joined by David Llewellyn in row number 2. Row 3 is going to see Robert Hill Jr. defending IR05 Series champion Tyler Graff. Row 4 is going to go to Mark Carpenter and Quentin Young, with row 5 going to Mr. Terry Adams, and he's going to be joined with Isaiah Dupree.
Right, row 6 will be made up of Mike Erter and Ronnie Osmer. Row 7, Johnny Antonucci and Kevin Paskowicz, who's had a pretty poor qualifying this time round, but hopefully he can make it up. 1 second. 5, 6, 7. And row 8 will be... I lost my way.
Looks like Bob Lacavara and Nate Dean.
Nate Dean. No, row 9 will be Tony Rice and league owner Alex Green. Row 10 will be Drew Giancarli and Tyler Vickery, the 2 rookies starting on the 10th row. Row 11 will be made up of Joe Morganti and defending IR05 Season 1 champion Cody Eldred. Row 12 will be made up of Bill Roberts and Chris Bouchard, and starting shotgun on the field, making it to 25 cars for tonight, will be David Bowden.
All right, so like Sam said, 25 cars slated to go off in this one. Field starting to roll out. For those of you just joining us, you are watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, of course, is your Midwest leader in tough-to-hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com. Be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you.
Yeah, and going back to the whole endurance race thing, Bill Roberts is really going out of his way to do that for the league. I mean, I'm really, really happy that he's doing that for the league, and it's going to give us some good. Well, somebody's going to be a big winner out of that. I can say that anyway.
Absolutely, and I believe it's going to. He's sponsoring a team in the DP class. So yeah. The Corvette Daytona prototype is going to be the car that's going to be raced with the RobertsTechJobs.com sponsorship on it. Pace car is in. Parkman has control of the field. Here we go. Pulls the trigger. Everybody seems to... And there we go.
Oh, no.
Yellow flag is out.
That didn't take long at all.
And Bob Lacavara going for a ride.
There's a lot of people going for a ride. Let's go ahead and take a look at the blimp view of that one. Holy crap.
I mean, even
So,
for Parkman, that's
here they are. Yeah, Parkman, Whitaker, Bauer. Good grief. Who is that tumbling? That looks like... come on. Was that Lacavara? Yes, it was. That was Bob Lacavara. Let's go to... let's see what the TV cameras picked up on Bob there. Here they are coming out of 4. We're watching the replay again. And... yeah, he just got clipped. Wow.
Yeah, it took Tyler Vickery with him as well, which is unfortunate.
So a ton of cars getting caught up in that one. Good grief. Vickery, Roberts, Whitaker, Adams, Rice, Bouchard, Green, Bowden, Bauer, Lacavara. To a lesser extent, looks like Tyler Vickery getting caught up in that one. Man, that was a wild one. That was definitely a wild one.
Yeah, that was interesting. And even like the two veterans of the league, Chris Parkman and Gary Bauer, making that uncharacteristic mistake as well, which is very strange. I mean, I'm guessing it might have been a gearing problem.
Good possibility on that one. That's the safe bet. But that's going to hand the lead of the race over to David Llewellyn.
Yeah.
He was able to get through there relatively unscathed. A lot of lap down cars in front of him. Johnny Antonucci finally rejoining the fray. Looks like he's going to stay on the lead lap. Nate Dean back out on the track. Looks like he's going to stay on the lead lap. Tyler Vickery going to need to pit. That car, wow, almost completely missing the left side pod. No nose on the car. Bill Roberts, looks like he just went for a spin. Collected it back up. Doesn't look like there's too much damage on Bill's car. Mike Whitaker, getting a little antsy as well. And that's something that you and I talked about in the pre-race, that this car hates cold tires.
Very much so. It looks like the field is very mixed up right now. I mean, David Llewellyn is behind a gaggle of cars right now, even though it's showing him in the lead.
There's Parkman as well. In that car doesn't look worse for wear, but
no, he managed to collect it up in the infield once he lost the back end, but he didn't hit anything, so he should be okay. Same with Gary Bauer, he didn't hit anything either.
No, but he did get whacked for unsafe pit entry and speeding in the pits.
Oh.
Yeah, so Bauer's a lap down. Terry Adams is a lap down. Tyler Vickery is a lap down. Bob Lacavara still towing.
That must have been a heavy hit then. Well, obviously we saw it was a heavy hit.
Well, he was past the pit in when all hell broke loose there. So
and he's just leaving pit road now.
And that puts him, looks like, 2 laps down. So trouble's early here. 165 laps the scheduled distance. Still have 160 to go. As it looks like the field's starting to form up here. Wave around cars going by. Llewellyn, Graff, Hill, Young, Dupree, Carpenter, Osmer, Erder, Parkman, and Paskowitz, your top 10. As the field starts
Robert Hill Jr., I'm very impressed with him for making it through that.
Well, you got to remember, Robert Hill Jr., he comes from the stock car side, so you really have to be easy on the throttle there to begin with.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Because, the car weighs twice as much and the tires are half as wide. And if you don't know where that movie quote came from, you're not a racing fan. Have a good day. But so the field working its way through the 3-4 complex right now. Is Llewellyn in control of the field?
I'm guessing this is going to have to be a second gear start this time around.
That's the safe bet. And you know, and here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
Llewellyn pulls the trigger, and there it
There
goes.
goes Robert Hill.
And
Dupree.
more
Yellow
carnage.
flag is out.
Oh, dear.
And people keep dropping down. I believe I saw Isaiah Dupree going for a wild one there. I just need to find where the hell he went. There he is. So
Yeah,
let's back that up a little bit here. Dupree going around, Hill going around. Oh, KP, what happened?
Yeah, Mike Whitaker went round as well.
Well, Whitaker was trying to avoid KP. Let's follow along with Paskowicz. Just noses it in.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you again.
Thank you again. So, again, cold tires causing some of these guys. Wow. I don't even know where to begin. Cold tires causing some of these guys to have to burn fast repairs relatively early. Wow. I mean, I kind of figured it was going to be difficult, but I didn't think it was going to be that difficult to get a lap in. As
Paskowicz going for the grass to make it to pit road.
Well, that car, if you look at the front wheels, he's got those things cocked way to the right just to keep it going straight. So,
yeah.
You know, the pH aware, and what the hell is going on there? Hopefully they got that car fixed, because it was porpoising while he was on pit road. Looks like they got it fixed. And it's something that we've talked about in previous broadcasts as well, that there is a glitch with the open wheel cars in iRacing more than any other car, that if you hit hard enough and the algorithm says, okay, that wheel shouldn't be attached anymore, rather than make the wheel disappear, what it does is it puts it 6 feet above your car. And there's a glitch that a fast repair generally won't fix it. What you need to do is you need to roll into your pit stall, or roll into pit, stop 2 to 3 stalls before yours, take a short tow, and then take the fast repair, and then it'll fix it. And
I don't know if you saw the video that KP put up yesterday, but it seems like that glitch has followed it into the stock cars as well, because his truck did that when he wrecked yesterday.
It has followed it into the tin tops, but it's more prominent in the open wheel cars because the wheels are so exposed. I've had it happen in a Legends car.
Yeah, and that's hard to do.
Not in Crash Car, my friend.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Speaking of which, Sam, we're on the dirt this week.
Ooh.
Yeah, so be there Friday. So, working lap 9 right now. And I have to say, Sam, I am so glad that you're up in the booth with me, so that it's less likely to have a repeat of previous events. But,
well, I took a 3-week hiatus, as you probably know, so I'm nice and refreshed and back again now, so I'll be up here as long as you need me.
Right on, right on.
But yeah, it's a pretty interesting race to come back to. I mean, I know I race controlled the DW12 race at where were we last time? Las Vegas? No, Auto Club. But this is my first time being up in the booth for what, over 6 months?
Or something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good to be back up in the booth. I mean, we've got a cooler full of beers, so we're all good. We're all stocked up. We're ready to go.
Absolutely. So looks like pace car getting ready to turn out the lights. There it goes. So Llewellyn, Graff, Young, Carpenter, Erder, Osmer, Dean, Eldred, Antonucci, and Giancarli, your top 10 right now. As
speaking of Giancarli, how the I have it under good authority that the Pro Mazdas are making a comeback soon.
I can either confirm or deny these allegations, Senator. There's been talk of other things taking place on Thursday nights, and I really, to be honest with you, I've been rather busy with real life and don't have a clue as far as what's actually going to be taking place as the quote feeder series on Thursday nights from now on. There's been talks of other things going on. No one has confirmed anything to me yet. As the pace car works its way through the 3-4 complex, watch for David Llewellyn to pull the trigger early, and let's see what type of carnage takes place when that happens. So
green flag, green flag.
Llewellyn rolls into it. Looks like everybody tiptoeing right now, trying to get up to speed.
Third time lucky.
And get your hate mail coming when he jinxes this field.
Yep. Everybody knows where I live by now.
Yes, that's P.O. Box 8675309, Dublin, Ireland.
Cork, actually, but yeah, close enough. I still don't know why they named a city after a thing you put in a bottle, but that's another thing.
You're a little backwards on that, Sam.
Yeah. Well, I'm...
So anyways, Llewellyn, 3/10 to the good, is defending IR05 Series champion Tyler Graff having to deal with a lot of traffic right now. Quentin Young trying to get the high side worked in a little bit. You got Mark Carpenter on his inside. And here comes Ronnie Osmer as well. Now, if you notice Evolution Motorsports, they're running some different paint schemes. Those are NBA schemes on those cars this week.
Yeah,
So Osmer, Vickery, and Hill all running NBA-themed paint schemes as the NBA season getting ready to officially get underway.
Yellow flag is out.
And there we go. Drew Giancarlo pointing the wrong way on a one-way street. What happened there? Let's back that up just a tick. You see him on the high side. Still on the high side. Gets into the marbles. Oh! What on earth was that? Tyler Vickery catching one to the face. Man. If it wasn't for bad luck, that kid would have no luck at all.
yeah, I know, right? I mean, he seems to have it.
I don't even know what was Giancarlo doing.
I'm going to put that down to lack of experience.
I'm going to go put that down to something that was talked about in competition committee chat, and it's probably going to be brought up again. So, on the high side, just turns down. Tyler Vickery, having nowhere to go, just gets annihilated. So, that was, wow.
It's like Terry Adams getting a lucky dog.
Maybe? No, he's just trying to catch the tail end of the field. Pascowich is the one in line for the lucky dog.
No, Terry just got it. He just went round.
Okay.
I mean, KP would be the next one to get it, I'd say.
No, KP's taking it right now. As we're riding along with Mr. Pascowich.
Not sure what Terry's doing then.
I believe Terry was just caught at the tail end of the clustering and fornicating.
Ah, okay. Drew Giancarlo has put his car behind the wall, by the way, so...
that is a tough one. So, there's our first retirement of the night. And Tyler Vickery having to tow as that car just... I mean... You gotta feel for Tyler here. You really do. I mean, that car looks like it's been through hell already. And it's the second time. This is at least his second fast repair that he's had to burn.
Yeah, he had that big wreck at the start when he took Bob Cavara's car to the face.
Yes, he did. And now he just gets one just turned into his side pod. I mean, you really got to feel for Tyler today.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to have it on lockdown on the DW12s. It's just the IR05s he seems to be struggling with, and that's
well, for what it's worth, it's a completely different car too. I mean, with the DW12, you're talking a car that it's designed to. I almost liken it to the way that the Lotus 79 was designed, where there is a ton of underbody downforce in the DW12. Not so much in the old IR05s.
Yeah. I mean, I have always been a fan of the old ground effect design that the cars have. I mean, but as a IndyCar purist, I'm more of an IR05 fan, but that's just me.
Well, I have to agree with you because I'm not a fan of the whole rear fender thing.
Kardashian.
Yeah.
That's
who shall not be named.
Yeah, but luckily in the 2018 season real life IndyCar series, they've got rid of that now. So
I did see that, and I was actually I saw some of the preseason testing. It's a sharp looking car. It is a sharp looking car, and I kind of, part of me is kind of sick of, every time a new thing comes out, they make us buy a new car, but I might actually buy that one.
I mean, it harkens back to, with that roll hoop on the top of the car, it harkens back to a mid-90s IndyCar, if that makes any sense.
It does. It does. And for those of you who haven't seen the car, Google the phrase 2018 IndyCar, and you'll see what we're talking about. It really does, especially with the turbo motors coming back, it really does look like what they ran back in the 90s before all hell broke loose and they had the whole split thing happen.
Yeah, the official name for it is the IR12. They ditched the DW name for some reason. I don't know why. They started calling it the IR12 now, so...
Oh, as if it wasn't confusing enough with people in this league calling this the IR11.
Yeah.
Or DW11. Like, no... So Llewellyn, Graff, Carpenter, Osmer, Bowden, Antonucci, Parkman, Hill, Rice, and Green, your top 10 currently, as the field works its way through the 3-4 complex.
Green flag, green flag.
And I'm not live.
They know this time they've actually got another clean start going, so that's good.
And get your hate mail coming, folks.
No, just because they're learning from the first two restarts, that they know that they've got to roll into it this time,
As Carpenter and Osmer working side by side for the third position. Carpenter with the preferred line right now. Osmer trying to get some rubber built up on that high line. Trying the old tin top adage to keep it wound up on the high side, but this car just has way too much grip, and they haven't really worked enough of the goodie off the tires yet to have that low line starting to get sketchy. So, a little flirting with disaster moment there as Tyler Graff looking to figure out a way to get around David Llewellyn. It looks like he's trying to arc the turn right now for a late exit. And Llewellyn protecting that inside line. Carpenter trying to get a run going on the high side. They are too wide going into turn number 3. That's battle for second heating up. Carpenter with no help, though. Osmer goes to his inside.
Well, look at David Bowden. He's up into P5 and started at the back of the field. He's made a really good run so far tonight.
That is quite impressive that he was able to avoid the dumpster fires that happened early, and that car stayed relatively clean. So good on you, David.
I mean, it looks like he's getting back on that form that he showed in the Pro Mazda series. That nearly won in the title.
Yeah, that was a very close battle. So that might be a really good idea for Team 3 Musketeers to take a look towards David Bowden joining that roster to help that team out in the remainder of the season here.
Well, I thought the Booze Brothers snapped him up, but I might be wrong.
Booze Brothers already had a full team.
Maybe not then. Yeah, but yeah, 3 months would get beers, yeah. They need a driver, and we already know from the Pro Masters that David Bowden has the talent, so he'd be a nice fit there.
Look who else is creeping back up there. It's Robert Hill Jr. Right behind his teammate right now. Currently working side by side with Parkman, and there it goes.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Yeah, get your hate mail coming. That's on me, guys. Singing it, both singing his praises, and then yeah.
And who's breakdancing? Ronnie Osmer.
He's collected it up now, so that's good. But that car is knackered. Excuse my language.
Oh, that's one way to put it.
David Bowden managed to get away scot-free, though. Which is
No,
strange.
he didn't.
Compared to Ronnie.
That car got walloped. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage and see if we can't. Let's see what the chopper picked up. So you see Bowden on the low side, and that's Carpenter on the high side. Bowden just catches the apron, and the car just shot to the right. And unfortunately, Ronnie Osmer, wow, just gets annihilated.
So that's 2 Evolution cars taking a race car to the face.
No.
Oh, it looks like Isaiah Dupree caught a piece of that as well.
I think that was Gary Bauer that caught the... Yeah, that was Gary. Let's go on board with Gary and see what that looked like from his helmet cam. Here he is coming into it, and blap, there it goes. Just under tray to the dome with Gary Bauer. Oh, man, good thing this is a simulator. Because that definitely would have been...
Yeah, Joe Morganti getting some of that as well.
And what happened on the backstretch?
I missed it.
Mike Whitaker pointing the wrong way on a one-way street, and I don't know why. At least I believe that was Whitaker. No, that wasn't Whitaker. Who the hell was that? Okay. Let's back that up a little bit. Alex Green pointing the wrong way. What happened to Alex? Where is Alex? Why do I not see... Why am I not seeing the 30? Oh, because he's towed.
Who's showing us in the lead now?
Okay.
Unless he stayed out after his spin.
That's a possibility, too. Okay, Alex just locked it up as the rest of the field checked up to wait for the pace car. Luckily, no one hit him, and he didn't hit anything else. So other than some flat-spotted tires, it looks like... Yeah, Alex stayed out. Quentin Young stayed out. Tony Rice stayed out. Cody Eldred stayed out. Mike Whitaker stayed out. Morganti, Bouchard, and Bill Roberts stayed out. So your top 8 happen to have stayed out there.
Is Cody running the Save the Tatas scheme again?
That's what I'm seeing him in.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing him as well. Good that he's running that scheme. I mean, at least even though it's not Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it's still showing, making sure people are aware of it. You know?
It's not Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's actually Lung Cancer Awareness Month in November. It's lung cancer and pulmonary hypertension awareness. So,
yeah.
Something to be mindful of as we see Alex Green, a little bit of nose damage on that car, but shouldn't affect him too much. Driving for Home Depot, PH Aware, and the Mighty. And Alex is taking the outside line to restart. That's something that we talked about in the pre-race, that the leader is allowed to select their lane. And Alex looks like he's sending Quentin Young down to where there's no rubber on the track. So this could get interesting, folks.
Yeah, he's got a good company with Cody Eldred right behind him and Joe Morganti, so could get a decent push off this restart.
Yeah, very well. Very well could.
Not forgetting that Mike Whitaker and Tony Rice are down there behind Quentin Young as the pace car goes off, and they're away clean.
Green flag.
Alex Green gets a hell of a job.
And there we go.
Spins. I think he's the only one.
We stay green, though. Green, Young, and Eldred, a little bit of a breakaway right now, as Joe Morganti half a second back. So these three looking to get off sequence with the rest of the field.
My guess is that they're hoping for another caution.
Safe bet, because Alex right now has 22 laps on his current stint. Quentin Young 14, Cody 15, Joe Morganti 15, Whitaker, Bouchard both 14. Bill Roberts, who is the only other 14 lapper in the field, is dropping like a stone, currently running in 13th. And
Look at Alex Green.
Alex has got a great run going.
Look at, he's forcing Quentin Young to use that outside line, try and do it the hard way.
And that's what you have to do when you're leading here, is you have to protect that inside line. And, you know, let the guy on who wants to get by you know that if he wants to do it, he's going to have to do it the hard way.
Nearly had an incident there. He got two wheels on the apron, nearly pushed Quentin Young up into the wall.
He did, but he was able to correct it. Quentin not pinching down because he knows that this car has some bounding box issues to begin with. And basically throw a blanket over the top five right now, as they are a second to the good over sixth place Chris Bouchard.
Now, Chris Bouchard, correct me if I'm wrong, he's also joining forces with Phenomenal Evolution, right? He's
There has been talks. Nothing has been confirmed yet.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a huge coup for both of those teams if he could join the endurance team.
That would be a really big coup. As Joe Morganti with a hell of a run. We've seen him and Green work together in the past, and it looks like the old guard working together right now. As Green leaves a little bit of the door open, Morganti peeks his nose in there. Green slams the door at his face, though.
Yeah, Quentin Young stuck on the high side. Morganti gets a wheel on the apron, but collects it up. Mike Whitaker joining the fun now.
Well, if you look, Whitaker and Eldred, two of our past champions, are right now just far enough. They're still within striking distance, but they're just far enough back that should all hell break loose, they can take evasive action.
Look at Quentin Young now. He's got a nose in front. Can he get the clear?
It's going to be tough. Give that lap to Young, and he has the clear, but here comes Green bombing it back on the inside.
I mean, Alex Green is going to be close to bingo on fuel, surely.
Well, he's currently 28 laps into his stint. Unfortunately, I don't know what a full fuel run is here. But the one thing I would like to point out, defending DW12 Series champion Mike Whitaker currently running 4th. Season 1 IR05 champion Cody Eldred sitting 5th. Season 2 IR05 champion Tyler Graff currently sitting 6th.
So we've got our 3 defending champions. Well, 2 defending champions and 1 previous champion all sitting in
the top 6.
Yeah.
And right on Tyler Graff's transmission tunnel is the winningest driver in ISL history, Chris the Punisher Parkman.
He's putting a move on Tyler Graff now, which is even more interesting. There he comes.
Graff just giving Parkman plenty of room, knowing that it's way too early to be defending that hard for a position like this.
He needs to be careful, though, because he's going to let Carpenter and Bouchard in as well at the same time.
Well, he still has plenty of time left. We're only working lap 39 of 168. And there's still plenty of pit stops to go. I'm sure we're not done with the caution flags flying. But
looks like Alex Green's tyres are starting to fail him now as he's dropped back to third. He's got to be looking for pit road right now. He's starting to lose traction with those old tyres.
Well, the thing is, how much fuel does he have left? Because he's currently 32 laps into his fuel stint.
I'm not sure, but here comes Parkman making a move on Mike Whittaker now.
Parkman, who started from the pole and was one of the first ones to go spinning through the grass when we took the initial green, currently working his way back up to the number 4 spot.
And this is where he's dangerous. Once he gets a sniff at the top spot. Oh, there's the caution.
There it is. And what just happened?
Tony Rice.
Kevin Paskowicz. What happened to KP? Gary Bauer came off the wall. They were 3 wide. Bauer ate the wall and just came down into KP. Let's take a look at what the chopper picked up on that one. You see Bauer on the high side. Hosmer goes to the low side. Bauer brushes the wall. Robert Hill Jr. has a first you say it, then you do it moment as he somehow avoided KP. And KP just...
that was a spin and a half.
That car is not going to make it back to pit road under its own power. And KP toes. Yeah, that was definitely a...
We need a vomit cam from that one. Do we have a vomit cam on KP's car?
Oh, hold on. No, we don't have a vomit cam, but we do have... we got the next best thing. We've got the GoPro mounted to his helmet.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. So here we go. You see Mike Erder in front of him. KP moving up because he sees Osmer coming to his inside, and Bauer just comes off the wall. And, yeah, that was...
And KP's put it behind the wall. He's done for the night.
Well, he's already burned his fast repairs. He's been involved in all 3 cautions previous to this.
That's bad. But on a good side, Bob Lacavara gets one of his laps back. He's got the lucky dog.
True story.
And amazingly, he's back on the lead lap. After that ride he took on the first lap.
True story. And... Come on.
User was moved to your channel.
And joining us now, the driver of the number 12 PH Aware, the mighty ride, Mr. Kevin Paskowicz. Looks like he's putting it behind the wall. KP, tough break.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is. Just, you know, we have drivers who preach patience, you know, be patient, do this, and then race you super hard early in the race. So, you know, it's unfortunate, but, you know, thought we were going to have a good race. The car seemed right. I could pass when I needed to. I could, you know, run up front. We got into a little bit of trouble early. The track is incredibly not suited for these cars, but, oh well.
Well, KP, you're welcome to stay with us up here in the booth, should you choose to.
I will probably come back and join you here in a bit. I need to go kick a wall and possibly take a crowbar to a car for a while.
Okay. I believe you're talking about the jump car BMW that you're working on?
Sure. No, actually, that project's going great. I think we're going to end up actually with PH Aware on that as well.
Great.
And we're looking forward to the first race, which we're hoping is going to be the Charlotte Roval. I think it's the 14 Hours of Charlotte next April.
That's awesome.
You will have to let me know when that's going to be, and I will try to get that weekend off of work.
Oh, definitely. Trust me, as soon as it's confirmed what race we're going to, you guys are going to know. And probably get invites.
All right. I just have to purchase Nomex underwear because I just read the rules the other day and realized that my pants and jacket aren't flame retardant enough.
Yeah, it's weird with those cars. That's the single biggest expenditure. Like the roll cage, the fire suppression system, everything actually doesn't quite amount to the cost of a new helmet and some flame retardant panties.
Well, don't get me wrong. I have a fire suit. It's just not flame retardant enough for their rules.
Yeah.
Like I'm level 3 and they want at least level 5, which means that I need to get Nomex underwear. So,
which means at some point they expect you to be in a giant ball of flame.
Well, considering that it is called the Chump Car World Series, yeah, go with that thought. It's okay, people. Let you go blow off some steam, and looking forward to hearing back from you in a little bit.
All right, thanks, guys. Thank you, and I need to give a shout out to my wonderful, amazing wife who's watching tonight. Sorry, honey.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen. It wasn't his fault.
Thank you, guys.
Take care, KP. So Quentin Young getting ready to lead him back to green. Robert Hill Jr. sitting to his inside. Green flag comes out. They pull the trigger, and it looks like everybody's got the restarts figured out finally. And Parkman goes side by side with Hill Jr. Hill on the low side, Parkman on the high side. Gonna have to do it the hard way.
I mean, he said everybody got it figured out, but Johnny Antonucci certainly did not. He took a spin for the infield just as we went green.
Well, we stay green, though. And, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing on Robert Hill Jr.'s helmet?
Jack Skellington? Of course you are, yeah.
That's what I thought I was seeing. Yeah. Just what I think I've seen it all. Of course, I guess I shouldn't complain considering that Layla has a fox head on her helmet.
Yeah.
As Robert Hill Jr. looks to the inside of Quentin Young. Young leaving the door open. Parkman going with Hill. And we've seen it time again. The hardest thing for the tin top drivers to get used to is the fact that you can hug the inside line on some of these tracks. And the rookie to the point. Looks like both of them are going to get the clear. As we see some sketchiness going on back in the pack a little bit. Give that lap to Robert Hill Jr.
Yeah, that sketchiness is involving Isaiah Dupree, Alex Green, Tyler Graff, and Chris Bouchard. They are fighting it out for 4th place right now. Or 5th place, sorry. Oh, as Alex Green goes up into the wall. Comes down. Oh, he came back down into Mark Carpenter. And that's going to bring out a caution. Carnage, and Ronnie Osborne's in it. Dave Bowden's in it. Oh, that was not pretty.
Mike Erder got a piece of that one as well. Wow. Let's see what the chopper picked up on that one. You see, there's Alex in the orange and black car. Isaiah on his inside. I'm not even going to hazard a guess as to what happened there.
I think he got up high and then tried to come down low and then didn't realize Mark Carpenter was there.
No, that was Isaiah.
But the incident involving Ronnie Osmer and David Bowden. David Bowden, as soon as he saw the accident, he stamped on the brakes, and Ronnie had just nowhere to go.
Why am I not?
And Bill got caught up. Bill Roberts got caught up in that as well.
Why am I not finding Bill? There's Bill. All right. Well, let's see what happened. Yep. Bill just caught a race car to the face, and Tyler Vickery gets into another one. Oh, God.
And Ronnie Osmond's retired his car as well now.
I think Tyler might be out of fast repairs too.
So it'll just be Robert Hill Jr. flying the flag for Evolution at this point. And I dare say that the helmet that
Tyler's running is quite appropriate right now, as he's running an Angry Birds helmet. Let's see what happened with David Bowden here. Yeah, I mean, he
stomped on the brakes as soon as he saw the incident.
Well, I don't know if he stomped on the brakes, but he definitely came off the gas. Why am I not seeing... Where the hell is Ronnie? Ronnie's out of the race, that's why. Oh, look, a piñata. I laugh only because if I don't, it's one of those deals where you kind of look at it and go, really?
Yeah, that's... Alex Green is retired now.
Well, Alex has probably used all 3 of his fast repairs too, because he was caught up in that first one, and I believe he was caught in the second one as well. So here we are watching the replay.
Good news for Tyler Vickery, he's still running.
Wow, I'm impressed. You know, the more I watch this replay, I'm kind of thinking that it was one of those... Isaiah didn't turn down when he got to the corner, and Alex was expecting him to. So, kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of drivers taking it pit side. And that is going to... Looks like Chris Parkman going to get handed the lead as he stayed out. Robert Hill Jr. going pit side. Quentin Young staying out. Tyler Graff staying out. Bouchard, Eldred, Erder, Llewellyn, Whitaker, Dean, and Lacavara all staying out. So your top 10, and then Isaiah Dupree, Joe Morganti, Robert Hill Jr., Mark Carpenter, Johnny Antonucci, David Bowden. In 16th is your last car on the lead lap. I believe he just got the wave around. No, I take that back. Johnny Antonucci is going to be your last car on the lead lap. David Bowden getting involved in that one. No, looks like he's being scored on the lead lap right now. Bill Roberts, first car, 1 lap down. Terry Adams, 1 lap down. Tyler Vickery, 2 laps down. Gary Bauer, 2 laps down. And Tony Rice currently 3 laps down. Tony Rice in 21st. Your last car still running. I'm not live. Here we go. And there goes... No idea who that was. Looks like Cody Eldred going for a wild ride through the infield.
Nate Dean down on the apron as well. I'm wondering if he had a pretty shaky start as well.
It wouldn't surprise me at this point, with cars getting a little ahead of themselves, as Young, excuse me, Parkman, Young, and Bouchard half a second to the good over Tyler Graff. So this is your battle for the lead. Let's take a look at what's going on. Oh, the second pack is getting a little chippy too. Is there over a second to the good over current 8th place Robert Hill Jr.
I'm sort of back, guys. I'm trying to log in and watch, but listening to what you guys are saying, this track is not made for Indy cars. It's just there's too many transitions. It's too bumpy. It's too slick, in my opinion, and the drivers are having a handful. I mean, everybody's got a handful. The cars are super tight. They have to be, because if they were any looser, everyone would be going around every lap.
Well, we had a handful the last time we were here as well. You know, we were able to get some decent green flag runs. And I'm sure you remember that one, KP, because you were, I believe you took third in that one. And you had the best view of the house of the finish behind Parkman and Jay Anderson.
No, I don't think that was me. I think it was one of our teammates. Last race here, I ended up somewhere in like the 5th row of the front stretch grandstands.
Aha.
Yes, I believe this was the track last year that got me the reputation for having more hours of flight time than I did have racing time.
Ah, yes. It's all starting to come back to me now.
I'm not going to make any bones about it. Ronnie Osmer is absolutely pissed right now.
Well, it is what it is, and you know, you see smoke, and probably should let off the gas. And
yeah, I mean,
you know, we watched the replay, and his foot never came off the fuel pedal.
Right. I mean, it being a simulation, it being a game, guys try to push it a little bit harder than they probably would in the real world. But yeah, when you see smoke, when you see a car pointed the wrong direction, you gotta lift, you gotta let it go, and just far too few do.
You're not wrong.
And I'm not saying this is an ISL issue. It's an issue in even some of the pro leagues here on iRacing. I mean, it's just guys that think that their shoe size is a wee bit bigger than it really is.
That's the polite way to put it. Generally and jokingly in some leagues, it's referred to as an arc brake. And for those of you who wonder what I'm talking about, go watch any super speedway ARCA race and tell me what happens. What's the brake pedal for?
Oh! Bit of contact between Isaiah Dupree and Robert Hill Jr. then.
I was watching the contact between Quentin Young and Tyler Graff.
Oh. Pure coincidence.
And now between Quentin Young and Chris Bouchard.
I think tempers are starting to rise in this race a bit.
Well, the good news is we're closing in on the 100 to go mark.
Yay!
Insert rim shot here.
It'd be more like an expletive than a rim shot.
Okay.
Only joking. There's some good racing though going on.
There is. I mean, you take a look at this front pack. They are 2.5 seconds to the good over 8th place Isaiah Dupree right now.
Yeah, and
I wonder if Isaiah doesn't have a little bit of damage, guys, from the contact.
Well, let's take a look. Maybe the that left winglet in front of the left rear tire looks a little tweaked.
That can do it. That can do it quick and easy.
Bowden's in the wall again.
That's not good.
No caution though, so Bowden's really struggling now. Well, he's missing half of his rear wing. That's probably why.
That would do it. As Parkman continues to show the way, Chris Bouchard sitting in second. Quentin Young trying to get the high side worked in, currently sitting in third. Defending IR05 Series champion Tyler Graff currently in fourth. Mike Erder in fifth. David Llewellyn sixth. And defending DW12 Series champion Mike Whitaker currently sitting in seventh. Those guys are currently 2.5 seconds to the good over 8th place Isaiah Dupree. And I dare say we are closing in on green flag pit stops.
Yeah, it's about, depending on how hard you're running it, it's 26 to 28 laps. So, depending on how long these guys have been out here, it's quite possible.
Well, this lead pack is currently working lap 25 on their fuel stint.
So, yeah, you're going to be looking at some pit road fun here in the next 2 laps or so, 2 to 3 laps.
Hey, guess what lap we're on? 100 to go! Woohoo!
I thought you were going to make a joke about it being on lap 69.
No, we're officially 100 laps to go.
Oh. Yeah, lap 69. He. Anyway,
I'm just more impressed that we're finally 100 laps to go. As Parkman continuing to show the way, Quentin Young still hanging tough on the high side. Parkman's still running that low line, still the preferred line. And you see a little bit of rubber starting to get worked in on that second lane right now. And I dare say that, you know, as the tires start to wear out in traffic anyways, that high line is going to be where you're going to see all the passes made. As Tyler Graff throws it down onto pit road. Let's see if anybody goes with him. So Graff, the first one taking it pit side.
Looks like he was struggling to keep it down there because he nearly came across that white line again.
That wouldn't be the first time we've seen that. As Parkman and Young both working lap 29. Parkman going pit side. Let's see if anybody's going with him. Looks like nobody. Nobody going with him. Nate Dean in the pits. Cody Eldred is pit side.
Quentin Young is coming in this lap.
So Quentin Young finally calling his pit. Looks like David Llewellyn going with him. Or not. That's going to hand the lead of the race over to Mike Erder. And those guys working lap 30, 31 and 32 respectively with Erder and Bouchard. Cody Eldred coming back out. Tyler Graff. That looks like Nate Dean in front of them. Here comes Erder and Whitaker. It's going to hand the lead over to Chris Bouchard. David Llewellyn going with him. So let's see how this all shakes out when we finally get the green flag stops done. Currently working lap 75 of 168. Bouchard comes in.
Morganti's coming in.
Morganti's coming in. As Isaiah Dupree flashes by. Now Dupree, Hill, Carpenter, Lacavara, and Antonucci. Lacavara currently working lap 32, so he's going to be coming in relatively soon. Bill Roberts looks like he's going to be able to pick up a few spots here. Nope, he's still one lap down. I take that back. But these guys are all on a different cycle, currently working the 25th lap of their dual cycle.
Watch Isaiah Dupree, though, because he, as he's proved in the last few weeks, he's a bit of a green flag pit specialist, so I'm looking for him to be further up the front once these green flag pit stops are done.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, but if a caution were to come out now, that would be disaster for the entire field, as they have lapped all the way up to 4th place. As Terry Adams struggling along there by his lonesome, going to be towing Isaiah for a while. Terry giving Isaiah the inside line, which has been the racing line. Robert Hill Jr. backing off just a tick. Got Mark Carpenter and Johnny Antonucci with him. So, going to be interesting to see how this plays out. These guys currently working lap 28. And Dupree going pit side. Not sure if he actually called it or not, because that looked like it caught everybody by surprise.
He called it on text chat.
Fair enough. As Robert Hill Jr. gets the lead of the race again. Got Tyler Graff, who's on fresh rubber, going by. And Hill Jr. taking it pit side. Carpenter going with him. Looks like Antonucci's going with him. And Dupree's down off the jacks and away. So these guys charging into pit road.
Looks like Morganti's got past him, or has he got a lap back off him?
Got a lap back. Robert Hill Jr. still being shown as the leader.
It looks like Bouchard and Quentin Young have passed him anyway.
Well, they've gotten their lap back.
They're still that far behind?
Yeah. They have lapped all the way up to third. All right, so... And there it goes. Bouchard and Young did just get the lead of the race. Bouchard showing the way, Young right on his transmission tunnel. Isaiah Dupree a second and a half back off of this battle for the lead.
Antonucci just leaving the pit road now. So he should fall back to where he was before, hopefully. But
all right, so as everything shakes out, Bouchard, Young, Dupree, Parkman, Whitaker, Erder, Llewellyn, Hill, Carpenter, and Dean, your top 10. And that leaves us with 14 cars on the lead lap. Joe Morganti being scored as the last car on the lead lap. And
user in your channel timed out.
Tyler Vickery getting it sideways coming off of the pits. We stay green though. And it looks like we just lost Sam.
Yeah, I think he disappeared.
Well, we won't hold it against him considering he does have that entire pond to cross all the time.
That is very true. That's one heck of a puddle to jump.
True story. So Bouchard continuing to show the way. Quentin Young sitting in second, as they've got League Series sponsor Bill Roberts directly in front of them.
And it's just, I mean, this is a tricky track. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is a hard track, and there's a hard pit entrance, a hard pit exit, and you're going to see the drivers who are lucky float to the top, and you're going to see the drivers who are good float to the top.
Well, for what it's worth, as far as Atlanta goes, this is probably one of the coolest conditions you're ever going to see this track in. You know, track temperature 73 degrees. When have you ever known Atlanta to have a track temperature that cool?
I think it was sometime in the Middle Ice Ages.
True story. So we are just past the halfway point. Currently 82 to go. Bouchard continuing to show the way. Quentin Young right on, still battling with him. Now, KP, if it were you in Young's shoes, would you be going into fuel save mode? Maybe hoping to get another lap out of the tank?
I think at this point he almost has to. And the way you can do that here is you just tuck in right behind somebody, you throw it into sixth, and you roll it at 3/4 throttle. Now, problem is, if they get too far ahead of you, you're gone, and you're just going to be dropping like a rock. So you have to keep it close, but if you keep it right up on somebody, you can save about an extra lap of fuel over the run. And I think he has to do that right now. Like, that's got to be his strategy.
Well, unfortunately, he just took the lead, and I think that's what Chris Bouchard is looking to do.
I wouldn't doubt that. I mean, Chris is a smart race car driver, and he understands these things. And, you know, if you can squeeze an extra lap out of it, then that's an extra lap longer you can go. And getting down towards the end of this race, an extra lap might be all you need.
True story. But the bad news for these two guys is that Chris Parkman and Isaiah Dupree have already cut the lead from 2 seconds down to just over 1 second.
Yeah, they're coming. They're going to come quick. I mean, these cars draft up pretty well. And if you get in line, if you have a couple of cars running in line and run the arc line, what I like to call the arc line around here, which is high in, low off to the wall, you will gain a lot of ground on the cars that are pinching it down the straightaways and pinching it through the corners.
Yes, but the problem is, how do you get by those cars?
Well, that's where we hope the second lane has come into play, because you're going to have to take them high. There's no way around it.
That almost ended poorly. Quentin Young just caught the apron and got it almost 20 degrees sideways, and luckily Chris Bouchard was mindful enough of what was going on and was able to stay off him. But that has let Parkman close in to now under a second.
Yeah, I mean, the golden for these cars is right around 0.7 of a second. So if Parkman can get there, then he's going to have that draft, and they're going to be on him in a very, very short amount of time.
Well, he's currently 9/10 and holding.
Yellow flag is out.
And what the hell was that? Tyler Vickery again. What happened? Tyler? Just caught the wall?
Tyler has about as good a luck as I do, except it's Tyler. It's generally he puts himself in a bad situation.
Oh, it looks like he got just a little bit squirrely and just ate the wall going into 3. And almost clobbered the leaders. Looks like Isaiah Dupree caught a piece of that one, though.
Yeah, that's not good. That might Isaiah might be working his last fast repair. I don't know.
Well, I know Tyler already is. Let's go to the GoPro mounted to Isaiah's helmet and see what happened there.
I'm not sure I want to see this.
Oh, sure you do. Yeah, left rear tire to the dome.
So yeah. Right now Isaiah Dupree needs a new helmet, probably a new pair of pants, and maybe some life support.
I don't think you're wrong, but let's see what did happen there. We're riding along with Tyler, and it looks like just caught the wall, and wow, that's yeah, we're going vomit cam time.
This is gonna hurt my soul, isn't it?
Wait do you see it in the replay? Yeah, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I've seen worse. I've been in worse. So have you.
You know, yeah. Well, you know, there's a reason IndyCar stays away from some of these 1.5 mile tracks. I mean, where was it? I think it was Texas. It was Texas or Atlanta back in the
yeah, the first time they went
90s.
there, the drivers were suffering from vertigo because they were just getting dizzy going around the place at 240. Who gives a crap any more miles an hour?
Right. I mean, yeah, you're dealing with 6 Gs for 18 seconds out of every 22.
Yeah, that
was not good.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a first you say it, then you do it kind of moment. And I do
Very
believe
true.
our broadcast partner was finally able to log back
User was
into the
moved to your
TeamSpeak
channel.
server. Sam, are you with us again?
Yep, sorry, minor technical glitch.
Well, you know, like,
Did your cat unplug your router?
No,
did your cat pee on your router?
no, I don't
Oh,
have.
too
I don't.
soon.
I don't have. I don't have Kevin Paskowitz look.
Now, for those of you who don't know what we were talking about, those of you who joined us, I believe it was Vegas? No, Chicago. Chicagoland.
Oh, was it Michigan?
No, it was Chicagoland.
Oh yeah.
KP had just taken the lead of the race, hauled off into turn number 1, and all of a sudden the car just disappeared. And all of a sudden my cell phone starts blowing up with Facebook Messenger. I'm going to kill my wife's cat. The damn thing just peed on the router. This sucks.
Yeah, that was no fun. That was a bad day.
So, now, Karen, if you're still watching, feel free to chime in the live chat with this one. Did he actually threaten to sell the cat to the local Chinese food joint?
Unfortunately, I believe she has disengaged her watching because of the wreck, but I will ask her to log back on.
Nah, you don't have to.
I'm not going to lie, I did in fact say that.
Okay.
Oh, the stories I could tell. May have said it mostly jokingly, but still.
We laugh because we know KP was joking about it. However, I do happen to know in the greater central New York area there has been 2 Chinese food restaurants that have been shut down for having feline in their freezer.
Yeah, it's, I remember growing up in upstate New York, and that's where the joke originated from.
Solve.
So, yeah.
Get your hate mail coming, folks. Yeah. But,
yeah, the joke's that famous. It's pretty big over here as well, so...
Oh, you guys know about Solve, New York?
Oh, yeah, we do.
Okay.
It's a pretty famous joke all around the world.
Fair enough.
Chemical capital of the Northeast.
Most polluted lake in New York State.
Wow.
I lived in New York State. That's saying something.
You know it's bad
Green flag.
the unlimited hydroplanes just tell you that they won't come back to race there anymore because the teams are sick and tired of having to reskin their boats after your event.
Yep, that's never fun.
I've had a request by one Mr. Tyler Vickery if he could join us in the booth for the rest of the broadcast.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, let's bring him up.
Let me see if I can find the damn guy. There he is.
User was moved to your channel.
So, the new version of the Bad Luck Kid, Mr. Tyler Vickery, joining us tonight. Tyler, that was painful to watch from a broadcaster standpoint, my friend.
Yeah. Oh, that second incident, I don't know what to say to that.
The first incident, the second incident, and the third incident.
Yeah.
Were all not healthy. What ended up happening? Well, explain to us what took place with that last one.
The last one with me, completely finishing off the car. I don't know. I touched the wall earlier, which suspension was alright. I knew I had lost speed. As I was going down the straightaway, I know I went a little high in the turn to make sure I would keep room for Quentin and just all of a sudden the car just launched up in the air, which was interesting.
True story. So are you going to apologize to Isaiah Dupree for causing him to soil himself?
I was asking on the radio. It's like I was curious if anyone got involved in that wreck because it caught me off guard. And I feel bad for Isaiah. As long as he didn't get caught up in the wreck and
oh no, he caught your left rear tire to his face.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, go watch the replay, my friend. So we're watching this battle shape up for the lead. There's a little bit of a breakaway going on with Quentin Young, Isaiah Dupree, Chris Parkman, and Chris Bouchard. These guys are currently sitting half a second to the good over Mike Whitaker in 5th place.
I feel like Mike will be able to catch them, though.
Oh, very easily. And I'm thinking Mike is probably playing this strategy right now of knowing that all 4 of these guys are probably just going to be slugging it out, for the remainder of this event, and he's staying far enough back that should the dumpster fire erupt, he can avoid the carnage.
Yeah, I agree. And from my point of view, before I had a lot of the damage, the outside lane's starting to really was coming in really well. I mean, I threw one of my stops, I decided just to stay on the old tires, and it was doing okay for a bit on that high side. It's just you got to turn in very slightly and slowly work your way down to that bottom groove, and you were making up time. I was slowly catching up to Antonucci at the time, who is currently, I believe he's running up there in the top 10, isn't he?
15th.
Okay.
Last car on the lead lap.
Okay, because I was closing up to him and a few other drivers that were running some really decent times earlier on in the race. So it's going to be interesting. If there's no more cautions the rest of this race, it'll be interesting to see about strategy with other people deciding not to take tires and just stick with the older tires.
So you're saying it is possible to double stint?
Yes, but at the same time, the only risk factor is that apron. You just got to make sure not to touch the that little drop-off area between the apron and the track.
And we are 3 wide for the lead.
Quentin, I would not be surprised if Quentin can be able to pull off the 3 wide on the outside. He's had some decent speed lately.
Well, Bouchard shoved his nose in there going through the trioval, and Parkman, knowing there's plenty of time left in this event, gave him plenty of room. And I think Quentin Young just got...
Don't forget Parkman's there as well.
Well, I was going to say, Parkman was leading, and I dare say that, Quentin Young just backed off saying, okay, yeah, go ahead, guys.
Right now, the top 8 are all separated within half a second of each other. It's just with Whitaker and getting that rest of that line closing up, it's going to be an interesting, especially when green flag pit stop should be coming up soon.
Well, it's going to be very interesting to see who goes with who, what type of tire strategy they're going to play out, because, we're not have seen the money stop yet. We're probably looking 2 more stops before this one's over.
Yeah.
I mean, I did say at the start of the broadcast, Tony, that Parkman was going to be dangerous on this track, and he's proving that right now.
Well, you got to remember, the last time we raced here, Parkman lost it by the width of a foot. And what I mean that is, hold up your foot, look from your big toe to your little toe. That was the margin of victory Jay Anderson had when the caution came out.
Oh, big push of right, though.
I'm thinking he might have had some help there.
Yeah, Parkman's saying some things on the radio.
Not surprising. No, I'm thinking it Young.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah. Young's right now. He's trying to get some side draft off of Bouchard currently. Looks like he's slowly getting around on the outside lane, Quentin.
Watch the back of this pack. You got 2 of the old guard just sitting and waiting for something to happen. Whitaker and Llewellyn just sitting back there waiting for something to transpire. But the way these guys are racing, I think they might be in the prime position to...
Ooh, we got a slow car on that low line.
That almost ended poorly.
Close.
Gary Bauer.
That got very scary quick.
Gary Bauer just coming out of the pits.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was really a bad spot to come back on track with.
Well, he kind of had no choice. I mean, it was he was blending into the track or into the pack.
He ran out of blending room.
I
wasn't even paying attention to that.
But he did the right thing. He stayed low. He didn't try to go to the high side and get out of the way. He stayed low and gave everybody the lane around him.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there might be words between Bauer and Llewellyn. Bauer was actually holding up Llewellyn just then.
Well, I'm thinking business is about to pick up because Chris Bouchard has just gotten to the the transmission tunnel, anyways, of Quentin Young.
Right now, prime position right now, from the way I'm looking at it, is Mike Erter. Mike Erter's right now in 5th. He's about 4 or 5 car lengths behind this group, and everyone else is single file behind Mike Erter. He's going to be in a really good prime spot if something happens with those top 4.
Right, but what I'm getting at is the last time Parkman and Young were nose to tail, Parkman got shuffled to the back.
Right.
And I don't think he was happy about it.
Yeah, that was the last race at Auto Club, wasn't it?
No, that was about 5 laps ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
As Isaiah Dupree is starting to blink again.
Oh, that's something we haven't seen in a while.
I was just going to say, that's a problem that hasn't been there in quite some time.
At least 3 weeks.
Oh,
shots fired.
Behind the wall. Wonder what happened to Mark, because he's just retired his car.
I don't know.
I'll look back at that.
3 wide for the lead.
Almost. Parkman wisely ducking it to the inside. Parkman and Bouchard have been working together pretty well so far. So,
looking at the replay, everything seemed all right. Let me just. I think I'm looking at the wrong thing. Give me 1 sec. I'll look and find out what's going on with Carpenter.
He was driving the Penske car.
Yeah. Okay, he's coming into the pits, and it just looks like he just retired the car. Potential mechanical issue or something?
Potential real-life issue.
Frustration.
Yeah.
That could be, too. We've all been there and done that.
Oh, yeah.
He was running in the top 10, though, so I couldn't see what he had to be frustrated about.
So,
yeah, he was running really well.
We are closing in on the next round of green flag pit stops as basically your entire top 15 are currently working lap 25 of their fuel stint.
And this is where Isaiah Dupree is dangerous because, like I said before, on the green flag stops, he knows how to control them and get himself back out there in front.
And that's Johnny Antonucci in front of these guys, so business is really about to pick up because Antonucci's about to go another lap down, and these guys have been racing tooth and nail.
And Tyler Graff is just called in, coming into the pit stop this time.
Not a real surprise there.
Nate Dean and Cody Eldred have both called their pits as well.
As well as Parkman. Parkman's coming in as well.
That was a late call.
Well, the question is, what's going to happen when these guys get to Antonucci?
We'll find out now because they're right there.
Yep.
Quentin's pitting in this lap. He's just called his pits. Can he get to the bottom? There he is.
Bouchard just called his pit.
Bouchard, Young, and Whitaker all in.
Wow.
That was sketchy.
That's one way to put it.
Isaiah Dupree pitting in now as well.
And Mike Whitaker gets it sideways.
This is early for Isaiah to be called.
As well as Nate Dean. Nate Dean made a mistake as well. He's in the grass. He'll most likely get a black flag for it as well.
Well, I'm thinking that these guys are thinking they're splitting up what's left in the race.
They're back counting.
Exactly.
Or as you might put it, doing the high power gazintas.
You're not wrong.
And that's math for those who don't speak redneck.
True story.
As Whitaker is pulling out of pits now. As well as Nate Dean. There was a wreck I just heard.
Let's put David Llewellyn to the front now. How long has he got before he has to pit?
David Llewellyn's currently working lap 30.
Someone just spun on the backstretch from what I was hearing over the radio.
David Llewellyn brings it down now, so...
I'm not seeing who it was.
It's Bouchard. Bouchard's back his car. Oh, heartbreak. For the number 28.
Let's go to the replay of that one.
From what it looks like he might have just let the revs get a little too high and the car just snapped underneath him from what it's looking like. He was holding his line on that apron. And
oh, he hit the bump coming out of 2. He hit the bump coming out of 2 and the car just shot up the track. How that didn't bring out a caution, I'll never know. We are going to go back live as he gets it back to pit road. Llewellyn hits his pit stall. He's back rolling. Here comes
Isaiah Dupree.
Dupree flashes by. So Dupree takes over the lead. Quentin Young in second, who's 2.5 seconds back. Parkman is 2 seconds off of Young. And things just got interesting.
And there it is. Like I said with Isaiah, he's a specialist in these green flag stops, and he's just proved that right now.
Oh, absolutely. But 41 laps to go, so we have not seen the money stop yet.
No, I think there's at least one more to go anyway.
Minimum 1-stop potential might be a 2-stop race still, depending on how many when they want to make their short stop too, if they want to make sure they can run the tank empty on the last run.
So after that mistake and hitting that world famous bump, Bouchard has now dropped to 2 laps back. That is heartbreak for for the kid.
That is a heartbreaker, but lesson learned.
Yeah. Stay away from the bump.
True story.
Yes.
So right now, the closest battle that we're seeing is for third place with Parkman and Graf. And there's not a whole lot of love lost between these two.
I mean, behind them, there's a 4-car battle between Erta, Robert Hill Jr., Joe Morganti, and Cody Eldred. That's a pretty tasty battle. Brewing.
Yeah, there's a really good battle going on there.
As we go to that.
Turn 3 and 4 right now.
Robert Hill Jr. giving plenty of room on the high side. Now ducks in behind Erder. There's Eldred and Morganti still running side by side. And they've got Bouchard in tow. Bouchard 2 laps down, though.
I'm sorry, but that helmet on Robert Hill Jr. is just making me laugh.
I wasn't sure I was seeing what I thought I was seeing the first time I saw it.
I mean, if you saw that in your rearview mirror, you'd freak out.
Oh yeah, especially when it's a skeleton.
Not just any skeleton.
Jack Skellington.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But like I said, you know, I shouldn't really complain too much considering the helmet that I painted for Layla Wilson. It's a fox head.
Right.
Joe Morganti goes on the inside of
Oh, there it is.
There went my teammate.
I believe that's the last of Evolution Racing. Let's take a look and see what happened there. Yeah, Morganti just edged up into him.
And Joe Morganti immediately apologized to Robert after the contact was made.
Well, let's see if...
Looks like he's going to limp it back. So
yeah, it was all arrow push. He was right behind Mike Erder, and the car just stopped turning. So yeah, that's a rough one there.
Yeah, for Evolution Racing, we've definitely had a rough race tonight for sure, especially after that unfortunate incident as well.
That's the polite way to put it.
Well, for Phenomenal Motorsports as well. Phenomenal Motorsports is out as well tonight. So,
and Isaiah Dupree just looped it.
Isaiah's back in. Money stop, possibly? No?
No, he just looped the car.
Oh, dear. So we've got everybody coming down pit road again. Would this be the money stop here, Tony?
No. Not with 34 laps to go.
I take that back because Mike Erter and Mike Whitaker have stayed out. As have Bob Lacavara, Tony Rice, and Bill Roberts.
So Isaiah Dupree winning the battle off pit road. So there you see Erder staying out, which strategically is probably a good idea as far as the Rookie of the Year points go. Considering Chris Bouchard is currently 2 laps down, that's going to deny Bouchard getting 1 of his laps back.
Yeah, sorry, Tyler. Sorry. David Bowden has retired his car. He's out of the race now. He's another one that's had a rough night tonight.
You're not wrong.
Actually, he probably owes me a kick in the junk because I was singing his praises earlier in the race just before he wrecked.
See previous statement. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, generally if Sam says something good about you, that's when it all goes bad.
Just that's Frenchie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that race.
True story. Speaking of which, I heard that the FAA has approved a flight plan.
Well, now Ray Black Jr. is running full time in the Cup Series. I'm pretty sure he can afford it now. So.
Oh yeah, no, they're gonna pay for the jet fuel to come kick you in the junk.
Oh boy.
See, the flight plan is from Florida to Syracuse. They're going to pick up the safety-toed shoes from me, and then they're flying from Syracuse to Cork.
Yeah. I think there'll be a queue forming. I mean, David Bowden.
Bowden just left.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Moving on. We have Mike Oetter in the lead. Mike Whitaker second, playing the fuel game again.
True story. While we are under caution, I do want to point out that we are watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, of course, is your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com. Be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you.
Indeed.
No, that's a different website.
And again, I'd like to express my deepest gratitude for Bill Roberts for funding the potential sponsor for the Robert Tech Jobs Endurance Challenge.
Yes, this coming Saturday there will be the special endurance race using the Corvette DP. The winner of the 6-hour race this coming Saturday will receive.
I believe it's sponsorship, but
it's paid. It's paid sponsorship for the team for the 24 hours of Daytona, and a donation will be made in the team's name to the charity of said team's choice. As the lights go out on the pace car field, working its way through the 3-4 complex, Erder, Whitaker, Lacavara, Dupree, Young, Parkman, Eldred, Graf, Llewellyn, and Morganti, your top 10.
Now, I will say about this endurance race, Phenomenal Evolution are ready for this. We've got our new paints ready. Our cars are all shiny in the garage, ready and waiting to go.
Yeah, you're just missing a driver.
Yeah.
They're all waiting for me to find a tire barrier.
Green flag, green flag.
As the race is underway now, no one's spun out yet. Looks like they've learned their lesson now.
Get your hate mail coming.
That's P.O. Box 8675309, Richmond, Virginia.
Orlando, Florida.
You're from Orlando?
I am. Well, I live in Orlando.
Okay, so that's P.O. Box 8675309, Orlando, Florida, ladies and gentlemen.
I thought the P.O. Box was OU812.
No, that's the zip code there.
Oh, yeah.
This race is going to get interesting quick as the blue car, I need to look and see what number that is.
Isaiah Dupree, currently all over the transmission tunnel of Bob Lacavara. Now,
yeah, he had a big run.
You're talking 10-lap difference in the tires right now. Lacavara currently working lap 14, Isaiah on lap 4. So, Isaiah able to keep it pinched down. Bob going to have to give him room here as Isaiah's got the nose in there.
And Bob's got a teammate for support right behind him. He's got Mike Whitaker right there with him. So if he needs it, Mike will be there to help him.
Yeah, but there's not much you can do against somebody who's got 10-lap newer tires at this point in the race.
No, you're just a sitting duck, really.
Yep, yes he is.
We've got Cody Eldred and Joe Morganti making their way through the field as well now.
Quentin Young is right now up behind Parkman, trying to make a pass on Parkman a few spots back.
Now, for what it's worth, we are closing in on money stop time. We have seen guys go 27 laps under green tonight. We are currently 27 to go right now. Mike Erder continuing to show the way. Isaiah Dupree.
And Tyler Graff is calling his bit.
Shocking. Tyler's one of those guys that always likes to pit early and off sequence.
Yeah, it's part of NLR's usual fuel strategy. If that makes any sense.
As Parkman making some moves in traffic right now, up into the number 4 slot. Whitaker getting shuffled back to 6th.
Llewellyn's coming pit side.
Quentin's going to try to take the high line and get around Parkman. That'll be a very tough task right now, especially with the little laps we got remaining.
I don't see it happening.
I really don't think that outside line is working, as Quentin's going to get a big run now.
And Quentin's going to get a run. However, he's about to get that run stifled as Parkman goes to the inside of Lacavara, using Lacavara as a pick on Young. 3 wide momentarily there.
Getting very chippy.
Getting very chippy as we are currently 24 laps to go. So the question is, who's going to blink first in this lead pack?
Bob Lacavara was so close to hitting the wall right then, nearly came down into his teammate then.
As Isaiah Dupree takes over the lead.
As Llewellyn just spun into the wall.
Oh no.
And we don't have a caution.
He is right now on the apron and he has towed.
Well, Bob Lacavara's tyres are gone, he's just hit the wall. He's falling through the field like a stone now. Looks like he's used up all the goodie off the tyres.
He has.
Yeah, it's not hard here to bend a wheel, and once you bend a wheel, you're done, even if there's nothing else wrong with the car.
David Llewellyn has put this car behind the wall.
Well, that's going to call it a day for him then.
Yep.
So that leaves 16 cars still running. I'm sorry, make that 18 cars still running. Bill Roberts still out on track. 17 cars still running, I'm sorry. Because Tyler's still being shown in the session, but in the pits. As Parkman just bombs it to the inside. Dupree left the door open. Parkman just kicked the door in. We said it in the pre-race. Parkman wants Atlanta.
Yes, he does.
He had a heartbreaker the last time we were here in the IR05s. He wants Atlanta. He wants redemption.
Now this is an interesting battle to see, guys, because this is the battle between the two most winningest drivers in the league.
True story.
Let's see who can come out on top of this, because this is a very interesting battle.
Yeah, and as a further update, the Bob Lacavara has also called his pits.
Yeah, he's just taking the pit side now.
So Dupree with the nose out front as they haul off into turn number 3. Parkman with a little bit of drafting help from Mike Erder.
Ooh, that was very close there. Almost wheel touched.
Currently working lap 16. Oh, there it is.
And there goes a few people.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Most notably Parkman and Erta.
There's more wrecking up front.
Oh, Parkman's not going to be happy.
Gary Bauer involved, as well as Cody Eldridge, and Cody Eldridge is crawling right now.
As we're watching the replay here, Isaiah just pinched him down. Cody Eldridge catching a piece of Mike Erder. As soon as I find Cody, where the heck is he? There he is.
Looks like Robert Hill Jr. was involved in that as well.
Yes, he was. It was a little bit further up the track after the earlier crash with Isaiah Dupree and Mike Erder.
No, Robert Hill Jr. was already going pit side.
Oh, okay. My mistake then.
Cody Eldred catching a big piece of that one. Gary Bauer having nowhere to go.
Cody Eldridge just spun it trying to get back into the pits. His car is really damaged very badly, especially in the rear end.
And here's the money stop.
This is the money stop. That's going to leave about 10 cars left on the lead lap as Parkman's trying to limp it back around.
Only 6 cars taking the pit side this time.
Only 6 cars? I'm seeing everybody going pit side.
The 6.
They're just not there yet.
Yeah. So heartbreak for Parkman and Erta.
Well, the good news is Parkman was able to stay on the lead lap.
Looks like Quentin Young won the race off pit road.
Yes, Quentin Young won the race off pit road. Then it became Mike Whitaker, Isaiah Dupree, Joe Morgani, and Johnny Antonucci coming out of the pits.
I'm predicting this is going to be a very interesting finish, guys. I don't know
what
you
to put it.
Yeah.
I agree with you there, Sam.
I don't think we're done seeing cautions yet.
Nope.
I'm expecting at least 1 or 2 cautions before that, before the last 5 laps window hits.
All right, so Parkman getting ready to take the wave around.
Yeah, he's got Bill Roberts and Bob Lacavara with him as well, so...
Quentin Young has taken the option to go on the outside line at the start.
That's an interesting line to be taken. Mind you, Alex Green took that line earlier and it seemed to work for him.
Quentin's taken it a couple times so far.
I was missing for about 20 minutes.
True story, but it has worked. So, Young, Whitaker, Dupree, Morganti, Antonucci, Dean, Eldred, Bauer, Hill, and Graff, your top 10. With, it looks like Chris Parkman and Bob Lacavara are going to be the last 2 cars scored on the lead lap. As they are getting ready to take the wave around.
And as expected, the best player in the game when it comes to fuel strategy, Mike Whitaker, is right there again.
Not that much of a surprise.
No. He's been slowly biding his time throughout this race, and now it's getting close to the money, like it's getting to crunch time, and he's there. He's right there.
So as the lights go out on the pace car, you are watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, of course, is your Midwest leader to attempt to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com and be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you. So 14 laps to go. I dare say that we have seen the money stop. So it's whatever you have from here on out is whatever you have, and hope you don't roll snake eyes. Young taking the high side. Whitaker looking to possibly go with him. He's going to need the restart of his life. Morganti in the catbird seat right now, currently sitting right behind Young. As the pace car moves in, Young rolls into the trigger. Everybody, and there it goes.
We got spin behind.
And Johnny Antonucci.
Nate Dean and Johnny Antonucci getting into it.
Bob's lost it as well and flying into the pits right now.
How much speed did Bob Lacavara have going into that restart?
No clue, but no caution yet, which is very shocking after that.
Looks like Nate Dean is taking it behind the wall. Nope, just towed. So the battle for second really starting to heat up as Mike Whitaker trying to hold off Isaiah Dupree and Joe Morganti as those three run nose to tail. And they are really reeling in Young right now.
As we are now 11 to go.
0.2 of a second gap between Mike Whitaker and Quentin Young right now.
And decreasing very quickly.
Decreasing quickly, and here comes Morganti on the inside of Dupree. So the question is, what's going to happen, considering that all four of these drivers, I believe, I take that back. Isaiah Dupree, the only one of these four who currently has a win on the season.
I believe Quentin has as well.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Watkins Glen. My bad.
Yeah.
So Whitaker knows that there's 2 races left to be able to punch his ticket into the chase. Morganti needs to win to be able to get into the chase at all, considering he missed a handful of races in the middle of the season. So it's going to be real interesting as we are currently 9 to go, going to be 8 this time to cross the stripe.
I think it's safe to assume that any one of these 4 could win this race tonight. I mean, they've got a nice big gap over the guys behind them.
Ooh, that was close. Very close by Mike Whitaker.
Isaiah Dupree pinching down a little bit on Mike Whitaker just then.
Well, Quentin Young almost took Whitaker's nose off going through the quad oval. And I dare say that if he leaves that door open again, Whitaker's just going to stick his nose in there and let the chips fall where they may.
Here comes Morganti.
Morganti with a run to the inside of Dupree. Just throw a blanket over these top 4. Is there a 2.5 seconds to the good over 5th place Tyler Graff?
So far, Graff is right now working with Cody Eldridge and Robert Hill Jr. They're right now acting as a train trying to catch up to these top 4. They might be able to make it in time.
Not even close.
Yeah, 5 laps to go at the line. It's going to be very, very... they're going to need a miracle, basically.
They're going to need these 4 to take each other out if they have any hope.
Well, the way they're
right now, the way they're... I agree with
not unlikely as Isaiah Dupree starts to blink again. Oh, this could get interesting. So Quentin Young currently showing the way. Mike Whitaker right on his transmission tunnel. Isaiah Dupree blinking and pinching down. What could possibly go wrong here?
Yes.
And I've said it before, anything can go wrong, and it usually does.
Thank you, Officer Murphy.
You're welcome.
And for those of you who don't get that joke, you're not old enough. So Quentin Young continuing to show the way. Isaiah Dupree side by side with Whitaker.
I will give credit to Isaiah. He's making that outside line work now.
Well, you can get it to work until you get to second, but good luck getting by the leader out there. Not without a lot of help.
As they almost made wheel contact, Whitaker and Dupree almost made wheel contact there.
Currently 3 to go. As we are closing in on the final stages of this race.
It looks to me like Morganti is kind of settled for 4th place. He's starting to drop back a bit now.
I think Whitaker's trying to time that run off of turn 4 to be there so Young can't slam the door.
Yeah, it looks like he's taking his time.
That's what you have to do here. You really, to pass anybody here, you've got to figure it out, time it right, pick up their draft and slingshot and stick your nose sometimes where it doesn't belong.
Well, we are 1 to go. White flag is out. It all comes down to this as Isaiah Dupree gets shuffled all the way to the back. Morganti throws the block after block, trying to keep Dupree behind him. Oh, my Lanta.
Through 3 and 4, here we go.
Whitaker's going to have one final shot. Not going to do it. Quentin Young's going to hold on. Whitaker for 2nd. Morganti for 3rd. And Dupree coming home in 4th.
That was a good finish, guys.
That was a hell of a finish.
Yes.
Sometimes you need a good finish.
And I think we can say out of the hard chargers, Joe Morganti will be the hard charger, I believe. And just looking at it based on qualifying, Morganti started in 21st and he's finished in 3rd.
Now, don't go speaking out of turn, Junior, because we got to take a look at who actually took time in qualifying.
Morganti did take time, guys. I can confirm that.
If he did take time, then I dare say Joe Morganti is going to have the hard charger. But joining us now is going to be the guy that was able to hold on through all the carnage, Mr. Quentin Young, representing New York State. Quentin, hell of a finish, my friend.
Yeah, that was definitely a lot of fun. I'm not quite sure I held him off, because that, if you could work that top line really low, which Isaiah could, you could roll that top real quick, and I was kind of wondering when I was going to have to start to move up and start to block Isaiah.
Well, I know there was a couple times where you had to come down and just about chop Mike Whitaker's nose off because he was peeking to the inside coming through the quad oval.
Yeah, I wasn't leaving him a lot of room, but he kept trying to kind of peek his nose in, so I was kind of having to really cover him off. But that was definitely a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations. This is your second win in the IR05s this season, if I'm not mistaken. Or not?
What did you say? I couldn't hear you.
I said, I believe that's your second IR05 win this season.
Yes, that is correct. I won at Watkins Glen.
All right. So, chase implications there. Denying somebody else from being able to punch their ticket. So we move on to Dover next week. Talk us through your thoughts on that track. I believe you have some unfinished business at Dover from last season.
Yeah, Dover should be fun. It's one of the tracks that's going to take a lot of. It's going to be one of the difficult tracks. It's gonna really show who the really good guys are in this league, instead of places like this where it's just all follow the leader. So I'm definitely looking forward to Dover.
Well, if last season's race is anything to go by, it's sure to be a complete barnstormer this time round.
Yeah, I didn't exactly get a chance to race last time.
No,
you're not wrong. Well, Quentin, congratulations on the win. We'll let you get back up into the post-race drivers meeting, and we'll see you next week at Dover.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, let's see if we can find
User was moved.
The guy that had a hell of a run coming to the finish, defending DW12 Series champion, Mr. Mike Whitaker, coming home in second place. Mike, I dare say you had a couple of decent runs, but discretion being the better part of valor, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there really wasn't any place to put the car. I had, I think it was Isaiah and then Joe for a while on my outside, so there wasn't anything I could do to the outside. And Quentin was doing what he had to do to keep the car down on the inside. There really wasn't any place for me to go.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I believe you're still up there high enough in the points to be able to be safely into the chase so far.
Yeah, that's how I did the 05 last season. I didn't win any in the 05. I won one in the 12 and got in the chase that way, but I'll settle for getting in on the points. Anything can happen once you're in.
True story. But talk to us about your feelings going into Dover next week.
I don't know. I don't really have anything against Dover. It can be a fun track. It can also be a real pain in the butt if you get behind the curve.
Well, you're not wrong, but that is basically your home track, is it not?
It's a toss-up. I'm about even between there and Pocono.
Fair enough. But, Mike, you had a hell of a run going tonight. Caught up in some early race mayhem, and you're able to fight back to come home on the podium. You got to be real proud of the effort that your team put forward tonight.
Yeah, we all did. We all had a good run. It could have been better for some of them, but we'll take it.
All right. Well, Mike, we'll let you get back into the post-race drivers meeting with your team. Best of luck next week at Dover, and congratulations on the podium tonight.
Thank you, Tony.
User was moved out of your channel.
Now, let's see if we can find... Aha, there he is.
User was
and joining us now is going to be the person who rounded out our podium and the Hard Charger Award tonight, going to Mr. Joe Morganti. Joe, hell of a run, my friend.
Oh, my God. I told myself tonight, I'm like, well, I crashed in qualifying. Going into turn one, I'm like, okay, so we'll just start in the back and just try and work our way up. I thought I knew I had a run on both Whitaker and Isaiah throughout most of the end of this race, and I thought I could probably get up to Quentin, but oh my God, I'm speechless. Well, this feels just as good as my first win.
Well, I mean, it was an impressive drive. coming from 21st, finishing on the podium, there's definitely something to be proud of.
And you got the hard charger award as well.
And getting the hard charger award.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is, like I said, this feels just as good as my first win at Kansas. Coming back after leaving after Vegas, and this is more of a win for Strange Nuts than anything.
Well, talk to us about your thoughts of going into Dover next week.
I'm expecting to not even last halfway.
That's not that bad.
Depending on how the setup's going to be, we'll see what we can do. I'm not expecting much. I think the last time I went there, I really didn't last very long. But we'll try and keep the nose clean on the car and figure out a way to get up there and up front.
Fair enough. Well, still, Joe, congratulations on the podium finish and getting the hard charger award. That was definitely fun to watch you guys finish that race off.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was a hell of a lot of fun. That battle up front for the top 4, that was great. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Well, we enjoyed watching
it. No problem.
Congrats, Joe.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, so that's going to about do it for us tonight here.
Moved out of your channel.
We will be back this coming Sunday. That broadcast schedule will start about 8:20 p.m. With the DW12 version of this event. Should be a little bit different feel to the cars. Looking for a little less carnage. I believe they're going to tone it down just a tick on the setup to try to get it a little bit easier to restart, so we don't see the as many people stepping on their junk as we saw tonight on restarts.
Yeah, I mean, next week should be interesting. I mean, like I said earlier, to Quentin, the first Dover race was pretty damn good. I mean, I was in that race and I enjoyed it, even though I don't think I lasted very long. But it's still a good race regardless. And we got, obviously, in the DW12s at Dover, we had our first ever Triple Crown winner out of it. So
we did. Unfortunately, we're not going to see that this season.
No, obviously that finished early because they didn't obviously complete the challenge, but it's still going to be a good race regardless. I mean, both DW12s and IR05s, they always seem to be good around there, even though they shouldn't be around there. But I kind of enjoy it around there. So
yeah, no, it's a fun track to drive just about anything around.
And Tyler, this is going to be your first time going around Dover in an IndyCar.
Oh yeah, that'll be interesting. I mean, I've done the Pro Mazda, and I've also ran a lot of the K&Ns off league. So I love Dover. It's just, I think Dover is going to be one of my difficult tracks. I figured with Dover, as long as I can at least survive the race and may have a chance to try to win, because after this race, I think right now I'm mathematically eliminated from trying to get into the chase by points, and the only way I can get in now for the IR05s is by winning a race.
Well, don't forget there are drop weeks, so something to take into consideration. But I do highly recommend that you do join the test and tune session that's going to be there tomorrow night. I believe they're going to be IR05s tomorrow night at Dover and DW12s at Atlanta tomorrow night for the test and tune to get the final tweaks done to the setups for both tracks.
And that's going to be the one thing that'll hurt me is I have a league race. I am currently running the Myrtle Beach Speedway Simulation Series for Championship Esports Association, so I won't be able to make that, but I'm hoping I can do well Wednesday, as 2 weeks ago I ran really well.
Fair enough. Well, good luck tomorrow. For those of you who are fans of what we're doing here tonight and you'd like to get involved, go ahead and wait till after the live stream is over and wait till the replay actually takes effect. Go ahead and drop a comment below with your iRacing screen name. We'll get that passed along to the league admins and get you added to the Thursday night Icebreaker series, which I believe is supposed to start this coming Thursday.
That's
So,
what I heard.
That's what I've heard too, but I have not heard confirmation on it. But we will get you involved. We do ask that unless you, are a pro driver in real life, that you do run a handful of, the Icebreaker Series races, just to make sure that you understand what we're looking for on the track as far as, we want you to run hard, we want you to be aggressive, but we also want you to not we don't want you to drive suffering from rectal cranial insertion syndrome. So,
yeah, pretty much.
But you have been watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, of course, is the Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest or you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com. Be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you. For Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett, for Mr. Tyler Vickery, for Mr. Kevin Paskowicz, this is Tony Trapasso saying we will see you Sunday night back here at Atlanta for the DW12 version of this event.
Bye-bye.
See ya.